Watchers Paranormal. I am your host, The Watcher. Thank you for joining me tonight. I have a great story for you. This story is about a funeral home worker who had a haunting experience years ago. This is called Bed of Corpses. In a small, eerie town tucked away in the shadows of misty mountains, lay an unassuming funeral home known as Everlasting Rest. For years it had stood as a place of solace for those grieving the loss of loved ones. The funeral home worker, John, who had been a dedicated, compassionate employee, attending to every detail with care and empathy. But one night, everything changed. As a fierce storm raged outside, John was preparing the embalming room for the night. He was meticulous, ensuring each body was treated with the utmost respect and dignity. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the building, and John felt an intense jolt that threw him off his feet. The ceiling above them caved in, and debris scattered across the room. Disoriented and overwhelmed, John struggled to his feet. The power was out, and the darkness engulfed him. Slowly, he realized he was not alone. Surrounding him were body bags, unzipped and empty. Panic grips his heart as he wonders where the lifeless occupants have gone. As he turns around, suddenly he's thrown to the floor and loses consciousness. Shortly after, he wakes up and is consumed in fear. When he realizes he's inside of one of the body bags, he pushes against the bag, trying to escape, but fear and confusion stifles his movements. His mind races with thoughts of being buried alive as he frantically attempts to find a way out. Finally, he manages to unzip the bag, emerges into the dimly lit room, and finds that something is just not right. The bodies that should have been there were gone. The embalming room appears to be deserted, yet John can feel a haunting presence all around him. Summoning his courage, John ventures into the hallway. Navigating through the dark corridors of the funeral home, the building seemed to have been transformed into an otherworldly labyrinth, with unfamiliar rooms and hallways that defy the layout he knew so well. As John explores, he stumbles upon a curious door that appears out of place. It was adorned with mysterious symbols and seemed to beckon him. Fueled by desperation and a sense of urgency, he pushes it open. To his astonishment, he finds himself in a vast, surreal space that seems to exist beyond the physical realm. In this ethereal realm, he encounters spirits of the deceased, all of them with their own stories to share. Some were trapped, unable to move on due to unresolved emotions or unfinished business. They speak to him in hushed whispers, urging him to help them find peace. As John listens and connects with these lost souls, he realizes that his role has just transcended to that of a mere funeral home worker. He now has become a guide for these spirits, helping them confront their pasts and embrace closure. Over time, John's presence in the spirit realm began to heal the souls he encountered. As they found peace, the funeral home returned to its familiar state, and the storm outside subsided. The haunted aura that had lingered within the building vanished. When John eventually returned to the physical world, he was forever changed. His understanding of life and death had deepened, and he embraced his role as a conduit between the living and the deceased. From that day forward, Everlasting Rest became more than just a place of mourning. It became a sanctuary for both the living and the dead, where the souls could find closure and solace. The souls he had guided had found their peace, but they had left their mark on him. The once compassionate and gentle funeral home worker now carried a darkness within, haunted by the memories and traumas of the deceased. As time passed, the town around Everlasting Rest began to change. Unexplained phenomena became more frequent, and whispers of a malevolent presence lurking within the home spread like wildfire. Some claimed to have seen eerie figures wandering the hallways at night, and others reported hearing chilling screams carried out from the wind in the direction of the mortuary. The once comforting establishment became a dreaded place to visit. Funerals were conducted hastily with the bare minimum of attendees. Families refused to linger, quickly departing after saying their last goodbyes. The building's disrepair mirrored the decay of John's own soul as he became a recluse, shrouded in an aura of misery and despair. As John tried to come to terms with the dark energy that had attached itself to him, he sought answers in ancient textbooks and occult practices. He was desperate to find a way to cleanse himself and the funeral home. But as he delved deeper into the occult, John's mental state deteriorated. He was plagued by nightmares and visions of tormented souls relentlessly pursuing him even in his waking hours. The boundary between the physical and the spirit realm blurred, and he lost touch with reality. The line between the living and the dead began to merge in his mind as he became obsessed with the idea of crossing over to join the souls he had guided. One stormy night, John performs a ritual. He believes this will allow him to pass into the spirit realm voluntarily. He intended to offer himself as a vessel for the lost souls to find eternal rest, hoping that he could finally free himself from the darkness that tormented him. But in his fragile state of mind, the ritual went awry. Instead of finding release and peace, John's spirit became trapped between worlds. He became a tormented specter, haunting the halls of everlasting rest, alongside the malevolent entities that had taken residence there. The funeral home's reputation as a place of darkness only grew stronger, and people spoke of witnessing ghostly apparitions wandering the town at night. Those who dared to venture near everlasting rest reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Eventually, the town's authorities decided to seal the funeral home, deeming it a place of evil and unrest. The once vibrant and caring John was forever lost, trapped in a cycle of torment, regret, and longing for peace. And so, everlasting rest remained a forsaken and forgotten place, its doors boarded up, its spirits trapped, and its dark secrets hidden from the world. This funeral home would forever carry the weight of the tragic tale of the caring worker who sought to bring solace but instead found himself consumed by the darkness he tried to banish. Many years have passed. The building now stands silent, decayed, a monument to the tragic fate that had befallen John.